Are you live?
I'm live, but I'm not got on to us yet.
Okay. Okay, I'm live. Oh shit.
Are you live, Mac?
Yeah, I just opened the wrong window. Technical problems, as per usual. That's what happens when you get an
Right,
old,
well,
an old man with dementia.
welcome, one and all. I am back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
to the Virtually Rek't podcast featuring myself, PowerOnVR, and the man himself, Mac in VR. It's
Yet
been a
another
while, Mac.
HL2 beta fan.
Yes, it has been a while.
Way too long, I would say.
Yes.
Some would say.
Yeah, sorry, I've just got to quickly switch off my speech chat because
Because that will become very awkward.
yes, and it did quite quickly. Oh, I can't find it. Where is it? It's not that one.
How are we doing, you all? We have Norman Robinson. How's it going from the Bermuda Islands, apparently?
He
Hey,
is
my
in the
dude.
Bermuda Islands, yes.
Very nice. And yet another Half-Life 2 beta fan. What's up, my guy?
How you doing, mate?
Oh,
Oh, there it is. Right, so we've got to get the formalities out the way first. Right.
yeah. Let's start with the most important thing of this entire podcast. Not the VR, not ourselves, but what we will be imbibing for the evening.
Yes.
Mac, what will you be imbibing?
I have got a very nice Czech lager called Stara Pramen.
Lager. That's new.
It's because it's very warm, and
Oh, apparently I have no sound. Give me a second. I don't know why I have no sound. Let me just have a
Hey
look
Weeble,
at
how you
that.
doing, mate? Hello, Norman. He's there again. Half-Life 2,
There we
Fragbat.
go. There is the sound. Thank you very much, my guy, for letting me know.
Shall we do
Oh,
the intro again?
That's just embarrassing. The first week back after a month, and for some reason, none of my audio is working. Of course, it is not. Let me just check this
Right.
other one. just
Anybody's
to make
wondering,
sure.
Shuey's having audio issues. We can hear him.
There we go. They are fixed. The audio should be there now. I apologize. Let's redo the intro.
Okay.
Awesome. I love that. I loved every second of it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Virtually Rek't podcast featuring myself, PowerOnVR, and the man himself, Mac in VR. We got partway through telling us what we were drinking. Mac is drinking lager, which is, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure exactly what's happening. It's not wine.
We have.
Oh no, there we go. We have the Mac juice.
We have the Mac
How
juice.
do you obscure nerd VR? How's it going, my guy?
So, Shuey, what are you drinking?
I am finishing off in my lovely Download Festival cup.
should get
I
to
am
that.
finishing off a load of, because it's nice and summery, and I want a summery drink, and it's definitely not because it's one of my favourite drinks. I'm drinking a bit of Archers and lemonade because I love Archers and lemonade, and just to make sure that I'm still on the ball, we've got a nice grapefruit infused lager.
Ah, that does sound nice.
Oh god, that stuff is lovely. It's basically a rip-off of Elvis juice from Brewdog, but it's half the price.
Oh,
And
right.
it has more alcohol in it now, which is wonderful.
That is always good.
Mm.
Right, so before we start the podcast, we literally haven't spoken for nearly 2 weeks, have we?
We had a brief tete-a-tete a couple of weeks ago, mainly to tell you that I was incredibly, incredibly ill. Had entirely lost my voice. Had pulled, if not ripped, several muscles throughout my torso. It was an interesting 72 hours, that one.
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
wasn't amazingly happy. And then I disappeared off for another 5 days to a festival where I still couldn't speak for 3 of those days.
Oh, God.
But I wasn't going to miss it. Like that's ridiculous. You don't need to speak to go and drink and other things in the middle of a field with 100,000 other people. So yeah, we have not spoken in a while, and consequently, I've been extremely out of touch with the VR world.
Yes. Yes, you
which is
have.
a which is a pity. I mean, from reading back through different news websites and things, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount that I have missed. Although, until you mentioned it earlier today, I had completely missed Next Fest.
Yes. So one of the things we are going to talk about today is the Steam Next Fest, which is obviously Steam's game festival, and they now have a virtual reality section. So they, over the course of, I think they started on Monday last week and ran all the way through to 6 p.m. today. And then when Next Fest finished, they took the page down. So I had this great idea of having Next Fest on my other screen so that I could tell you all the video games that you could download demos for, which you can still download demos for. I have checked. If they were involved in Next Fest, you can still download the demos.
Okay.
So the first two I'd like to talk about will be Kayak VR Mirage, which
You've streamed previously.
I've streamed
that one,
previously.
haven't you?
Yeah, I played it quite a lot. It's fantastic. So that one was on the podcast. That one was on Next Fest. And RFVR, which is the RPG, MMORPG that me and Surge played quite a lot of. That demo is now freely available. And, just give me a second, because if Steam hadn't have buggered me up. Yeah, okay. So this one's interesting because I think you might have already played this. Runes Magus?
I have played Runes Magus. Oh, correct. I'll correct myself. I haven't played any real version of Runes Magus. I played a very brief tech demo of it sent to me by the developer about 6 to 8 months ago, and this was prior to them getting funding to actually translate it, because it was a fully developed, or at least mostly developed game in the Asian territories, from what I understood.
Yes.
And that made sense because it looks like a very sort of Asian anime-esque adventure medieval game, with obviously myth and fantasy mixed in. And yeah, no, when I jumped into it, like, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't cast spells or interact with mobs or anything. You were just walking around a town and a couple of little alleyways here and there. And it was fine. Like, it was definitely enjoyable. And it truly, the visuals blew me away for something that was essentially, I mean, it was nothing. It was nothing really, but it looked phenomenal. But now, as you say, like, I did download the demo, although I haven't tried it, from Next Fest. When you mentioned that it was up there, I was like, right, I've got to grab that because they must have updated it, and I assume you've played it since.
I have, yes. Wow, graphically it's stunning. Bearing in mind this is the PC VR version that I've played. There will be a Quest 2 version. And it's done with, as you would know, it's done with cel-shaded graphics. So the characters that you meet are all cel-shaded. So the Quest 2 can handle cel-shading pretty well. World of Mechs, obviously Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. So I'm guessing that that's going to look pretty good. So I played the tutorial and I played the first level today. And I was like, oh, this is going to take up quite a lot of my time because it's really well polished. It's really well polished. The opening scene is just amazing. You're walking through this marketplace and people are going, "Domo arigato, hiya," and you're just like waving back at them. And yeah, but it's very Japanese. You stand in front of a character and a little translation board comes up and they speak to you in Japanese and it gets translated. So yeah.
I am very happy about that, if I'm really honest, because I've said it before on the podcast. I'll say it again. I watch a lot of anime, and I am not a huge fan of when they dub animes with English. And the reason for this mainly is that the way it's translated and the emotions they're trying to convey, and the way it's done in Japanese, I'm expecting that type of tone and that type of emotion that's put into it, and you just don't get that in when people translate it into English. It just doesn't happen. And so, yeah, I'm really glad that it's a translation board and you can read it while listening to them speak Japanese, because I feel like you'll get more emotion conveyed that way.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going back to like films. There's a classic film that me and my wife both love called Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and you have to watch it in Mandarin with subtitles, because if you watch the English translated version, it just, like you said, you don't get the emotion, you don't get the, the sort of love story coming through. It's just like, just doesn't sound right. So that's Rune's Major.
I've watched it. I've watched that in both, and I could not agree with you more.
No. In 2006, me and my wife actually went to China, and we were in Beijing, and we drove to a panda sanctuary, and we actually drove past, the initial fight between Michelle Yeoh and the bandit. You don't know who it is at the time, where they run up the walls and over the buildings, and we actually drove past that and didn't realise.
Awesome.
And it's one of our, it's like me and my wife's one of our favourite films. Really excited for Rune's Majors. It was really, really polished. I do mention when it's coming out in my news video, which I've just done. Go and watch it, but not now.
No, later
later on, because there's like about 10 people streaming at the moment, isn't there?
Everyone's streaming.
Surjical streaming Half-Life 2 mod. So we've got multiple people watching multiple streams.
Is, like, watch this, but obviously have them on in the background. Give those people a bit of help. But obviously we're the focus tonight.
Yeah. So I've got Sergi's stream on my phone. Right. So sorry if anybody's talking to us.
No, I've been keeping an eye on it. So
Doom Slice here
themselves.
Lovely Doom Slice
quite nicely.
Right, so we have the next game, which you probably heard of, is Requisition VR, which is...
I have been following the development of this game, and I did download the demo, which is going to be on my list of things to play, hopefully over this week.
I have a caveat.
Ooh.
Requisition, there is a Horde mode, and there is a PvP mode. And the demo is the PvP mode. So I did the tutorial and then started the PvP mode and wasn't particularly interested in that. So that's just one little caveat. But it gives you an idea of what you can do. You can build explosives. You can build weapons. You can there's like a leaf blower, and you can put like a torch, not a torch, a gas canister on the front, make a flamethrower. Awesome. It just looks really good fun. It looks really good fun. So
is there a story mode for it? Do we know?
Sorry, yes. There's a co-op horde mode. There's a single player story mode, which I think you can play co-op as well. So there's like a co-op horde mode where you're stuck in a sort of House of the Dead sort of building. You have to defend it. The story mode, and then the PvP mode. Yeah, so I'm quite excited for that.
That all sounds awesome.
Yeah. The next one, do you said the Rune's Majors demo was like basically you couldn't really do anything.
Yeah.
So the next one is called Paradox of Hope. And as soon as you load in, you go, oh, this is Metro in VR. This is like Metro 2033 in VR, Metro Redux in VR. Because graphically it has that same like grungy sort of post-apocalyptic Russian sort of feel to it. You go and stand in front of a guy and he speaks Russian at you with like a storyboard, and then he's like, before you can go out into the wilderness, you have to score a certain amount of points in the shooting range. So he gives you like a pistol, and there's like a board in front of you, and you can put on like lasers or a torch, like a little red dot sight, a big silencer. It's pretty cool. And the graphics, like the guns, look fantastic. They look really good. They're like sort of onward, PCVR onward quality guns. They like look really good. So you go into the shooting range. You've got to knock 12 targets down, which is actually a lot harder than it sounds. And And then that's it. That's all there is to it. You can go into your little room at the back. You can put your gun in the workbench. That's how you put all the little attachment things on it, like the light, the laser sight, and the silencer and that. And yeah, it just looks really good. Then you open up the door and you go into the tunnel and you basically get timed out. So not a big demo, probably 10 minutes. But if you want to get, it got me excited. So it's done its job.
See, this is the thing, is it's got you excited, which is doing its job, and I found that for the name of the game is just Hubris. That one really, like, even now I am still excited. Even like I tried that demo, they sent me the demo I think in September last year.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So going back quite a way, and they have obviously now. They had it in the original Next Fest, which was in February, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was basically the same thing with a few tweaks. Like, they didn't change anything at all, really.
Yeah.
So I'm still really hopeful of that. And the fact that games can still get you hyped months later, that's what we need.
Yeah,
we need more people to be seeing this.
I think I was as similar to you. I got the demo by contacting the devs. I gave them my feedback. I was like, dude, you need to sort out their voice acting. Because that dude who talks to you right at the beginning, I think he actually is one of the developers.
Okay.
His accent's a bit off. I played Hubris about a week ago. So I don't know whether the demo is actually available on Steam now to everybody. Because I thought...
I assume it must be.
Yeah, okay. So that's another one to look out for, Hubris. Very sort of... I got a kind of Halo-esque feel to it,
Oh, yeah.
So the Halo... Oh, Halo in VR. Please, please. Apparently the guy who's making the Halo Reach VR mod has been employed by 343 Industries.
Yes, and the question is, have they been employed by 343 Industries to prevent him from making the mods, or to continue development of the mod, or is it just because they liked the look of what he was doing with the mod?
Yes, because Xbox don't seem to have any plans to launch anything VR related.
No.
Which is a bit of a bugger.
They do not give a shit, do they?
No. So the next game, I'm going to quickly go through 2, 3, 4 games because I've downloaded them, but I never got to play them. The first one is Out Mode, which looks like Outrun, but in 3D. So you actually see your car from like a 3D perspective. That's what I saw on the trailer. There's another game called Flash Out 3, which looks like... oh, Christ, what's that game you played that made you vomit? You said you were playing... It was like Wipeout. There you go. Wipeout.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one called Tiny Island where you're like a god and you have some chopsticks and you can move little people around. I didn't play it. That might oversimplify it. And then there's a one called Tomb Explorer VR. And the trailer for Tomb Explorer VR, I've downloaded the demo, but I've not played it, is there's one bit where you see Laura's iconic ice pick.
Okay.
And apparently you can climb, and so that looks... I was quite excited about that. I don't know why I didn't play it. I'll probably get to play it tomorrow. So I've just got to quickly scroll through the list. Right, okay. There's a katana simulator called Shibanu. There's another fighting game called Battle Talent. There's a one
Battle Talent is an interesting one. Have you played that on the Quest?
I haven't. No, is that the sword fighting simulator?
So it's not. I wouldn't call it a sword fighting simulator. I would say that it is closer to saying that it was originally meant as a free version of Blade and Sorcery.
Oh, okay.
Because it was originally available on SideQuest, and even when it was on SideQuest, it was doing more than Blade and Sorcery was.
Really?
Slightly less polished, but it was doing more than Blade and Sorcery was a year, 18 months ago. Because they had procedurally generated dungeons.
Okay.
they had the ability to explore places and have boss fights. And since then, they've actually given you the ability to have like arena fighting and things where you can choose what weapons you want to have out, how many enemies, how many waves, what types of enemies, etc. And it's still free, and it has been free on App Lab for a good, at least a good sort of year at this point, I think.
Okay.
It's actually it's well worth having a look at because the wall running and exploring side of things is actually pretty fun, and the way the enemies interact is pretty cool. There's loads of traps all over the place that you can activate using the enemies, so you can sort of get them to walk over different spikes that come out of the floor, or you can sort of fling exploding barrels and stuff at them. It's it's a pretty good game, to be honest, and I've been waiting for it to come to PC VR so that they could do something a bit, because we all know like the physics side of things is a bit limited with the Quest 2.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see whether or not they could do anything more than that. So I don't know if it's just going to be a straight up port to Steam, or whether it's going to be more than its predecessor. But yeah, that one I've been quite interested in.
Yeah, well, I've got the demo, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to quickly go. Oh yeah, Mount Wingsuit 2. It's basically a wingsuit simulator. So you go up in a balloon, you drop off the balloon, you then fly by moving your hands, tucking your hands in to build up speed, bringing your hands out to slow yourself down. You can turn left and right by swinging your hands. Nearly made me vomit straight away. I've got strong. I just thought it would be like flying in Population 1, similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Not for me.
What did they get wrong then?
So when you're doing the tutorial, obviously they have like a line of text in front of you, and it's saying, move your left hand to roll this way, move your right hand to roll this way. But they don't keep the horizon, if you understand what I mean.
Right. Okay.
So you turn with the horizon, and as soon as that happened, I just went, oh. And then there's like a sequence where I started to tumble.
That does not sound fun.
But I mean, I suppose if I persevered, I probably would have got better at it. But oh my God, no, I just wanted to vomit. Okay, there's a couple of games here which I know nothing about, which are Just Upstream and Maestro VR. Maestro VR is a oh my God.
A conductor sim, I assume.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry. Death Duel VR. I haven't looked at that one yet. The next one on the list is Blockstar. So basically, this sounds very simplistic. Basic premises: it's a kind of crossover between Beat Saber and Pistol Whip. So you're in a tunnel, and these blocks come towards you, and you shoot them, and there's like bonuses and time, like sort of multipliers. And I mean, I didn't get very far into the demo, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But yeah, it was quite bright. It's based around a tournament. So, you need to, there's like 40 missions in the tournament. Obviously, I started off on the basic sort of tunnel. I'm assuming they'll get more and more difficult as you go. Excuse me, this is what happens when I drink beer. It'll get more and more difficult as you go through. But when you start up Steam VR with the Pico Neo 3, it shows original Rift controllers with the rings that go underneath.
Yeah.
So with the Pico Neo, they're tipped up. The controllers are tipped up like this. So
I assume there's no changing it.
So to shoot, you have to point your hands down.
No.
I'm sure it'll get. I mean, I think if you played on your Quest 2, it would be all right. But my hands were sort of in the wrong position. So if you again look on the news video that I've just done, you can kind of see I'm trying to sort of shoot by doing this. But it looked fun. It was bright, it was colourful. I think if it wants to sort the Pico Neo controllers out, or you play with the Quest 2, it looked like good fun. Yeah, it looked like good fun.
I did see a trailer for it a couple of must have been at least a couple of weeks. No, That's been longer than that, at least a month ago now.
Yeah.
For that game actually, because I featured it in my releases for. Jesus, no, it must have been like upcoming games for the year or something.
Yeah.
That I did it on. But yeah, no, it looked interesting. It doesn't look like something that I would play a lot of.
Yeah, sorry, in the chat I'm just making sure. VR Realms here. Paradise Decay isn't here, but he usually is. I've watched Paradise Decay play it, and he obviously didn't have the same problem that I had. And he seemed to be enjoying himself more than I did. Like I said, it's just a technical issue. I'm sure they'll sort it out. Right, the next bunch of games I know absolutely nothing about. Mayhem on a Rainbow.
Nope.
Punji VR.
Oh, Punji VR I know about.
Okay.
Because I've actually been following the developer on Twitter for at least 3 or 4 months now.
Okay.
And that's sort of a low poly Vietnam experience.
Okay. Oh, because Punji Steaks. That's what killed all the Americans, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. I did try it out briefly today, the demo. It's the one Next Fest demo that I tried out, and I only tried it for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
And it is still really far away.
Yeah.
He's done a lot with it, and I love what he's done over the period of time that I've been following them. But it's certainly not there by any means. Like I quite liked what was that game? It was like it was a World War II low poly sim in VR, and I played a little bit of that, and I quite enjoyed it. I can't remember for the life of me what on earth that was called. That's going to come to me later. But it feels very, very similar to that, but a Vietnam experience. And I'm all about, as long as the weapons work well.
Yeah.
And and there's a reason for you to be actually going and murdering all these Viet Cong, other than just their Viet Cong. Then I'll probably be quite happy with it.
I just assumed because it was called Punji VR that you're actually killing Americans.
Well, in the demo, I wasn't killing Americans. I was wielding an M16.
Oh, right, okay.
Definitely killing Viet Cong, so...
That's all right. Okay, so we've got Down Fast VR, which looks like a mountain bike simulator. I might quite like that, actually, because I used to race mountain bikes. Escape from Mandrilla.
That rings a bell.
It does, yeah. I think you're actually a gorilla trying to escape from a human research center. From what I briefly saw of the trailer. Oh Christ Almighty! How the hell do you say that? Dixotomia. Nope. Spy Robot Gateways to Humanity. No. We're just going to go through them and try and find ones that we know about. Snipe Hunt. Gardenia VR. Grid Leaper. Plasmatic. Burial Stone. Dreamcatcher. Garden Mage VR, Game Scene, and Volcanic Core. And that is the full list of 33 demos that you can work your way through.
Just so that we're clear with this, right? None of those that are featured, as far as I'm aware, are the same that were featured in the Next Fest in February, correct?
I don't think so, because I don't recognise any of them. I mean, I don't recognise like sort of 60% of those.
But PC VR is definitely dead, obviously.
Yeah, because
like they had 30 odd demos now. They had 30 odd demos for VR in February. I think it might have even been more than 30.
Yeah.
But PC VR is definitely dead, people.
It is.
Obviously.
And talking to Surjical yesterday, he says there's a Next Fest just for VR coming up very, very soon.
Awesome.
So whether they repeat those games and maybe Deckard? Mention of Deckard?
Ooh.
Because sadly, Bradley seems to think it's close. There was a big patent leak, wasn't there? Well, it's not a leak when you go patents. It's somebody found some patents for their standalone headset, describing how the strap works, how the headset works, and various different sort of illustrations of the actual headset itself. So if there's a Steam Fest purely for VR coming up soon,
I mean, are we going to see Valve if they released the Index, and it's still widely considered to be a great headset by a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
mean, we've got Deckard. Sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say I've literally only recently sold mine, to replace it with the Pico Neo.
Well, we can get to your thoughts on that later. But yeah, so we've got Deckard on the way.
Oh, it looks so good.
Are Valve going to push into, because they haven't really released anything in a long time, have they? Like Valve as a company.
No.
They don't need to, but are we going to see Valve become the thing that keeps PC VR truly alive?
Yeah.
By producing either remakes or modifications or brand new games into the Steam VR ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to use a quick example here. Over the past couple of weeks, which you may not have known, I've been streaming the Half-Life 2 VR mod.
Yep.
And one of the devs called Wormslayer, who's actually in Surge's chat, ironically, now, because he's actually streaming Half-Life 2 VR mod at the moment. He mentioned that when Dr. Beef and the other guy whose name I can't remember revitalized the project, that Valve actually said, "Oh yeah, you can use the source code, you can use you can use the game engine," and then I think a little bit later on there's a little bit of a legal thing, but I think Valve are quite happy, and the developer Wormslayer, that's his name on YouTube, said that it was almost as if Half-Life 2 was made for VR. It's just because it worked really well out of the box. There's a few little niggles. There's a few little problems with ladders and stuff. But when do you not have problems with ladders in first-person shooters?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's... The thing is I turned off, when I tried the Half-Life 2 mod, I turned off the realistic ladder climbing.
Yeah, just use the auto ladder climbing, yeah.
Yeah, just use the auto. Just make it like you play any other FPS game when you climb a ladder. It's so much quicker and easier. It requires a lot less ball ache.
So if you're listening, Boneworks, right at the end of your game, when you have to climb that fucking ladder, yeah, you arseholes. Anyway, so that was Steam Next Fest. So that was, I mean, I'm going to be playing those demos for the next couple of weeks to see if I can find any little hidden gems, because, I wasn't particularly bothered about Paradox of Hope, but when I played it, I was like, now I'm interested. Yeah, Runes Major, so I was like, I'm not sure that's my kind of thing. Now I'm really interested because it looked beautiful. Obviously, we got RFVR, which I was always interested in, Kayak Mirage. So I'm just, there might be a few little gems in there that we just haven't found yet.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get the time anytime soon to go through things. Because the way my work schedule works is that usually this week is my time to get things done week. So I've got time during the day Monday, and then I've got the podcast Monday night. I've got time Wednesday. I work Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I sort of mix between getting YouTube and TikTok stuff done and spending time with the family. Yeah. That's not happening this week. This entire weekend is a write-off as far as YouTube's concerned.
Yeah, I've got the same problem looming, but it's for another reason. First of all, I'd like to say I don't know how I had time to go to work, right?
Yeah.
Since I retired, it's like full on. But on Friday, me and the missus are going down to Skipton we're taking the dog, and we're just going to do some walking and go to pubs. So I'm going to be away for a week. So I'm desperately trying to cram this week. I'm just trying to cram as much content in as I can, so it doesn't look like I've just got off and skived somewhere.
He has, though, people. He is just skiving.
I am just skiving. Yeah, you're right.
He is skiving from work.
I'm going to Yorkshire, one of my favourite places. Yeah. Oh, VR Realm says Mayhem on a rainbow looked great in the trailer, but he's terrible.
That's a pity.
Damn it. Yeah. Right, you know, I've made an error because I have 2 of these, and of course, once I've started the podcast, I can't leave.
And you don't have a bottle opener? That's what teeth are for, Mac.
Fuck that. Do you know how much money I've just spent on my teeth? Fuck that bullshit. Right, give us a second.
Okay, so Mac's going to go and do that. What is on here at the moment? So I'm not actually displaying anything in my background. One of the things that I really want to show you guys, if you guys hadn't seen already, is something that Zuckerberg has been talking about.
Yes.
Today, and I've got lined up the where is it? There it is. I've got lined up the actual piece that he did, because I think it's only a minute 30.
It is, yeah.
So do you want to line it up as well? Because I think actually we can talk about it afterwards, but I've only watched this once, and I've only read an article quickly. I haven't actually been able to get a deep dive into this, so I think it would be good to watch it with everybody, so that everybody's on the same page, and then we'll go over the interesting things we find with it. Because honestly, in this so far, there's only one interesting thing for me.
Right, there's 2. Right, so for some reason, the page that had the video has been updated and the video's disappeared. So just give me a second.
I just found it directly on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you go to Upload VR, it's their latest news story.
Okay, mate, I'll just do that then. Quick.
But yeah, this is Zuck himself, and honestly, I'm not exactly sure why he is putting so much effort recently into being... I know he's the face of Meta. I know this. I wish he wasn't. And actually, there's another news story that I want to go over and talk about.
Don't you like his little milky seal hands?
Honestly, right, he's an uncomfortable guy at best, right? He looks uncomfortable. He looks like he would be much happier ripping off his own skin. Then he would somehow find comfort.
Yeah.
Right? And that's fine, right? If Meta want to have him as the front runner for that, fine, go ahead. He's not a good front man for a company.
No. Andrew Bosworth is. Andrew Bosworth was really personable. Yeah.
Charisma coming out of his ass, that man.
Yep. Who's the girl who did the
showcase?
Showcase. She was amazing.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
She's got the So, Mark,
take a back seat, man. You've got boats. Go and sleep on one. Have an amazing time. But stop doing this stuff, because people know you, but they don't care about you. As horrible as that sounds, you're just not a good spokesperson for your what do they call it? The reality labs?
Facebook reality labs, yeah.
Yeah, like, you're not a good spokesman for that, man.
It's like when Elon Musk comes out with a steel ball and puts it through the side of his Cybertruck. Everybody in Tesla's just going, "Oh, fucking keep him away from the cameras."
Yeah. And then, of course, he comes out with a flamethrower and everyone's like, yeah, okay, keep going.
Keep going. We love Elon. Right, I've got this lined up, so it's up to you.
Okay, so we'll go 3, 2, 1 and play, yeah?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, play.
Today, I want to show you 4 VR research prototypes that we're working on to invent displays that are as vivid and realistic as the physical world, and much more advanced than traditional computer screens we use today. First, we need retinal resolution, and that means getting up towards about 60 pixels per degree. So we built Butterscotch. That's this prototype that lets you comfortably read the smallest letters on an eye chart. Second is focal depth. Normal monitors are a set distance away, so you just focus in one place. But in VR and AR, you need to be able to focus on things that are very close and very far from you. With varifocal and eye tracking tech, Our halftone prototypes let you focus on any object at any distance. We also need to fix optical distortions in software so quickly that it's imperceptible to the human eye. Next is high dynamic range. Nature is often 10 or 100 times brighter than modern HD TVs and the highest end monitors, and we need those colors to be just as vivid to feel realistic. So we built Starburst, the first HDR VR system that we know of. The goal is to fit all of these technologies into a device that is lighter and thinner than anything that currently exists. So we built HoloCake 2, a working experimental device using holographic displays that can already play PC VR experiences. Now there's still a long way to go, but I'm excited to bring all this tech to our products in the coming years.
Okay.
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 So what are you excited about?
What am I excited about and what I am not excited about? Hang on, let's get rid of that. So, the only thing that I am really excited about for this is the holographic lens films.
Yeah, HoloCake.
Have you read about these?
Do you know what? I haven't, because he basically dropped it on our lap about an hour before, and I had never heard of it before.
Okay, so I actually read into these.
Okay.
And they are super, super interesting. How do I describe this? I'm going to try and find an image in a minute, and it'll explain it a lot better than I can from just speaking. Where did I see it? I think it was. No, okay. I'll find it in a minute. It doesn't matter. Basically, if you imagine, have I got some good examples here? So, this is the Quest 2 and most other VR headsets. This is the way that they do their lenses, right? You have your screen here, you have your lens here, and it's far away enough that it can actually focus properly on the screen. Now, when we started seeing Cambria and all of the stuff coming out for that, and I think it wasn't the showcase, it was Meta's. What was that thing where they first showed us? I don't think it was the showcase where they first showed us pancake lenses.
Oh, it was Connect 8.
Connect 8, that was it. Yep. So they showed us pancake lenses, and pancake lenses are amazing because that amount of light that they need, this amount of light travel, what they've done instead is they have changed that into this. This is the size that they're now going for, right? And the reason why is because the lens is here, and the screen is here, and they have a whole bunch of stuff that bounces the light up and down several times before it then actually enters the eye. And that's pretty awesome, right? That is reducing that, because this is the reason why the Quest 2, I can't reach mine at the moment. This is the reason why the Quest 2 is like this far from your face and why it's so bloody heavy. It needs to be, and it's, even if they reduce the weight, the fact that it's going to be so far away from your face means that center of gravity is always going to be uncomfortable. So what they did with Cambria was made it smaller so that the lens is much closer to your face, and that's pretty cool. Now, here is going to be my example. This is the HoloLenses.
Wow.
Okay? This is the difference, and I'm not joking. This is actually the difference. And the way they're doing this is mind-blowing. It's using holographic films to artificially bounce the light, to trick the light into thinking it's going further than it is, basically.
Okay.
I don't want to go too far in depth because I'm not certain that I understand it perfectly, and I don't want to bugger up the physics here. But that's the layman way that I understood it, is that they're essentially tricking the light. I know that's impossible, but it's the only way of me really explaining it without going into like full on physics professor mode and still very possibly buggering it up.
Well, the thing is, if you've got a hologram, inside the hologram, there are obviously parts of the hologram that twist and turn the light to fool you into making you think you're looking at a flat object which has depth. So what I'm guessing is that the light will be bouncing around inside the hologram hitting different parts of the hologram. Yeah, so it would give the feeling of depth without actually the depth, because like you were saying, you were holding up something which was that thin as opposed to something which is...
Yeah, no, I'll go back to it just so that we're clear, right? This is this little disc, this tiny little thing here, compared to this. This is the difference. So this is Cambria. This is Holocake.
Yeah. And you said it works.
That's mind-blowing.
You said it's a working PC VR headset.
Yes, it is a working PC VR headset. There are two things that are missing from this headset as far as Meta is concerned. The first of which is the ability for it to be on its own. It's not standalone.
Yeah.
As you say, it's PC VR. So that's the obvious one. You said it's PC VR, and it doesn't have a battery on it. It has no battery on the Holocake research demo. It doesn't have any battery pack, so everything is coming directly from a cable that is going to be into your PC. This is not. Let's be certain about this. This is not something they're going to release.
No. Oh no.
Ever.
No.
Absolutely ever. They're not going to release this. That really cool thing. Where is it? Where is the picture of him wearing it, looking
like their AR glasses? Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So this, that thing that you can see on the image there, it's 100% that is never being released. There is not going to be a Holocake released by Meta. It's just not. By the way, the reason it's called Holocake is because it's using a mixture of the technologies holographic film and pancake lenses. That's the name joining. In case anybody cared, no, most people won't.
Because if they did it the other way around, they'd be called pan lenses. And that's that sounds like you'd be walking around with two frying pans on your face.
Yeah. No, that would suck. So just from that video, Mac, what you've seen, is there anything else? Because I assume that excites you.
Oh, that absolutely excites me. It's the fact that it's a working prototype as well. So I'm guessing what's going to happen is they're going to keep working on it until it's cheap enough to make. Because I'm guessing that there's absolutely no way that would cost anything less than like hundreds of thousands of dollars, because it must be right at the cutting edge of stuff that they're doing.
Not only that, but there is something else that is required that isn't possible for us to have in our homes currently in order for it to work.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, no, you actually need to have Mark interfacing with the device in some way. He has to put his finger in, and every time you turn around, you have to hope that he follows you in the right way. No, there is a. Oh, this is really going to bother me. Now this might disrupt things.
See, what's happening is it's happening to Surjical as well. Basically, you're interacting with me, and you are getting dementia by osmosis.
Yeah, I mean it's partially that, or partially because I spent 5 days in the field between 9 a.m. and 1 a.m. being absolutely hammered off my arse.
Yes, excellent. Which you needed. I did need that, to be fair. I needed to use that. Right, okay, I think this is the article that I found it on. What was I just talking about? I've genuinely lost my brain. You were talking about HoloLens, and you said there was one thing. I said it's going to cost hundreds of thousands of pounds, and you said there's one thing.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Unfortunately, the company indicates that the majority of technology shown off here...
Excuse me. Ooh, gassy.
No, I can't see it. Okay, there is a type of laser something. And I can't remember what it is, because this is quite a long article.
Is it a shark with freaking laser beams?
Freaking lasers! Anyway, this is the image that I wanted to show you, by the way. If you're looking at mine quickly, is just the difference in size. And I think the example I gave to you guys is basically what this is showing. Is the same. No, okay. I'm not going to keep trying to read this. Oh, here we go. Meta says HoloCake 2 requires a laser light source to make its holographic optics work well, and they aren't yet at the size or cost needed to be practically implemented into a real product. So you are correct, Mac. This probably costs 50 grand for this headset.
See, as soon as you say eyes and lasers, all I see is Homelander from The Boys.
Have you watched season 3?
Oh man, the termite. That is just got to be one of the best opening sequences I've ever seen. Tickle my prostate.
We're not gonna... okay. Apparently, we are going to go into it.
No, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
There is a point with the termite, a character in The Boys, where something happens, and both me and the missus are both a bit cringe when it happens, and then about 2 seconds before the thing happens, my brain went,
"Oh my god,
it's gonna happen!" And then my wife was like, "What's gonna happen?" And then it happened. Anyway, if you see The Boys season 3, you will understand what it is we're talking about. If not, you should go watch The Boys.
No spoilers. Go and watch The Boys.
You should definitely go and watch The Boys.
Oh my god.
Okay, so back to this then. Back to the VR rather than the termite. What else was in that then? What else within that video excites you, Mac?
Okay, so as a person who wears glasses, the varifocals, because then you could perhaps during the setup of the headset, you could actually put your prescription in, and then the VR lenses could adjust to your prescription. So no need for VR Rock, prescription lenses. I mean, that'll kill the poor buggers. It'll kill the bloody industry. I mean, I use VR Rock lenses in my Quest 2, and they've sent me some for the Pico Neo 3, but they haven't arrived yet. So I'm expecting a massive boost in clarity on my Pico Neo 3. That was. I mean, I don't know if you actually got past the 4 headsets, but they also had another article in Upload VR talking about passing the visual Turing test.
Yes, I have. Okay. I didn't read it on Upload VR. I actually read about it on Road to VR.
Yeah. Okay. So basically same thing. So if you're unaware, the Turing test is a test where you would have a conversation, and it would be indistinguishable from having a conversation with a human being, but you'll be talking to a machine. That's the Turing test. Yeah. So basically what Mark Zuckerberg says in the article is he wants to be able to pass the Turing test visually, so that you would not understand whether you were looking at the real world or whether you had a headset on. So I don't know what...
We're talking Matrix level stuff, right? That's what he wants. He wants to be able to trick you into thinking that you're in the real world when you're actually in his little world where you have to pay for all of your Gucci
Prada handbags, which is something I want to get onto. Which is something I want to get onto later on as well. Can we just briefly go back to games, because this came out last week. It might have come out because of Steamfest. I'm not 100% sure. But the Half-Life Levitation 7-minute gameplay trailer, have you seen it yet?
I have. Oh yeah. Whoa! Like if you were in the 80s and you'd just done your line of coke and you walked out onto the street with your other business mates, and you're all wearing them really nice jackets and things, and you saw this very lovely lady walking past you in the red coat or the red dress, and she had the nice blonde hair and red lips, and she turned around and was like, "Boys?" Yeah, no, that noise.
Yeah, that noise. The girl in the red dress from Battlestar Galactica, the skin job, that kind of noise. Yeah, it was. So I did a trailer breakdown. I think I released it on Thursday, and basically I just sat there and went through it in as much detail as I possibly could. There was some new assets. I mean, the guns, they were all the same, but the one thing I did notice was she was running. Alex was running like you can in Half-Life 2. Like fluid, fast, like maybe like the Hev suit sort of boost you used to get. So she was like coming out, instead of like walking very slowly and having to teleport to cover, she was running for cover. And it looked, I mean, I know it's scripted and the people who are making that video know what's going to happen. But yeah, I think
it's a very well scripted video.
It is a beautiful video. And I think if they've implemented running, that is a big thing for Half-Life Alex. Sorry, Weeble just says you get excited with Alex in Half-Life 2. Yes, I did. I know. I'm a perv. What can I say?
The thing is, with that, it's very unrealistic, that levitation video. Because, like, within 30 seconds of it, they've already found 3 pieces of resin. So, I'm calling bullshit. Like, I don't think... Yeah, they've just had resin everywhere.
Do you know?
I don't think they're even going to use it.
Do you know what would be really cool if they looked at your save for the end of Half-Life Alex and gave you the guns that you'd upgraded?
Yeah,
at the beginning.
That would be, I mean, if you look at the video, it does have like all of the weapons they're using are fully upgraded.
I disagree. The pistol has the bullet reservoir, and it has the three-round burst. It doesn't have the laser. Because I always go for the laser.
No, you're right.
I always go for the laser over the sight, because I think the laser's more handy. The shotgun didn't have the laser sight, but it had the bullet. That cool. Whoever sort of turned up one day and went, "I've got an idea for an autoloader for this shotgun," they should have given them £1 million and promoted them to head of everything, because it's just like load your shotguns in, cock it.
Oh, it's so cool, isn't it?
So cool. The Combine machine gun had the bullet reservoir as well, but that didn't have the laser or the sight. So
okay, fair enough. I haven't watched it that in depth. In fact, I've only watched it once, and I've now got it running on my stream just in the background while we're talking.
I did.
I do see G-Man over in the background though.
Yeah, that's something they did in Half-Life 2 a lot. You'd see him just stood there with his little briefcase.
Yep. Oh man, G-Man is just he's just true classic PC VR master race, isn't he?
He is. And as well, because it's the weird inflection in his voice and the fact that he stops at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Like, as a human being, it kind of spooks you out. Wake up, Mr. Freeman, and taste the ashes. And he's like, ugh! There's something wrong, non-human about it.
That was a reasonably good version. I actually, genuinely...
I am the G-Man.
I couldn't have done that. No, because as I said, I recently played through the Half-Life Alex, the Half-Life 2 VR mod, and I was at points I had to stop, and I was just a little bit teary.
Yeah.
Just because of how happy I was.
Yeah, it's so that when you get off that train in City 17 and you just see the
what did
the
I say
board
to,
and yeah.
What did I say? The one moment was in Half-Life 2 that I wanted to play in VR. Do you remember?
Oh God, I can't remember now.
There was one moment I wanted to play, and it was when the Combine tells you to put the can in the bin.
In the bin, yeah, and then he hits you if you don't. Pick it up.
Yeah, and I was way more disagreeable with him in VR than I was in the original.
Yeah, it was great. Paradise Decays here.
Great.
Paradise Decays in the chat.
Hey, PD, how's it going, my man?
Paradise, I saw your video where you were playing Blockstar VR. What headset were you using? Because it doesn't work with the Pico Neo 3 because the controllers were like Rift controllers that you could see. So consequently, the Pico Neo controllers were pointing straight up at the sky, and I had to sort of do that. Oh, he's playing with the Rift S. Yeah. Of course he plays with the Rift S.
PL, welcome in, my guy.
Cheers, mate.
Scottish Gamer VR. Hey, dude. No, I really sorry. I've not been keeping up with my chat. I supremely apologise. Supremely, I'm getting drunk.
The Weeble said, Shoeey joined the Dementia Club.
Oh, I did, mate. I have killed way too many brain cells. It turns out that festivals are not the best place to increase intelligence. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I liked what was going on with the hardware stuff we had. There is one more thing, actually, I wanted to point out about the hardware.
Okay.
That Zuckerberg was going on about. Because the first thing he mentions is resolution.
Yeah, 60 DPI, wasn't it?
With their butterscotch headset. Yeah. And because I thought to myself, yeah, actually, that's a big thing. You know, when the Oculus symbol used to appear, when you loaded up the Quest 2, it was always that little bit. It wasn't quite right. And I don't. Did you ever use a Go? Did you ever try the Go?
I never tried the Go. No, I didn't.
Okay, so when I tried the Go, it was blocky as all hell, and it was awful. Like, you didn't want to read a single piece of information because it was uncomfortable at the best of times.
Yeah.
And the Quest 2 made a good headway on that. But then I'm looking at that butterscotch, and one of the things he says is per degree, not per inch, not per eye or anything like that, per degree. And so I went and had a quick look at what it was that they were doing. So
okay,
it's kind of like foveated rendering.
Okay.
In the way that the way they've got the butterscotch to work is that per degree of the visual, they've got 60 pixels, right?
Yeah.
But they've only got that in the first degree, from what I can understand.
Okay.
So the reason they've shown you a really sort of elongated but very thin image is because everything else isn't that.
Right. Okay.
So it's not like they've increased the resolution so much that no matter where you look, you'll be fine. It's only dead in the middle. Everything else, I think the next set of degrees from that is only 30. So it already halves straight away.
But if you put some eye tracking in with that, and then foveated rendering.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
so
isn't the Vario Aero Retina? Oh, hold on. Sorry, Norman Robinson's just donated.
Oh, wow. Cheers, my man.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, mate.
Appreciate it.
Thank you from Bermuda. Speaking about VR mods, I'm still hopeful you and your friends will review the Star Citizen VR mod. Oh, my God.
Holy shit. I didn't know that existed.
That's a fucking rabbit hole. I knew about it.
Oh, there's a good reason Mac did not tell me about that, I assume. Because that is something I could lose my entire life to.
Yeah. One of my favourite YouTubers is Jack Frags. I watched him from years ago when I was in Battlefield and Level Cap. And they play Star Citizen, and it's janky AF, but it just looks unbelievable.
I watch so much TikTok on Star Citizen because it's the Elite Dangerous that I always wanted, is what Star Citizen looks like.
Yeah.
Because Elite Dangerous have just added being able, like I say, just within the last 6 months, have added the ability to actually land on planets and things and get out and go and do missions and stuff.
In VR?
No. Otherwise, where the fuck do you think I would be on a Monday night? It wouldn't be talking to you, Mac. It would be in Elite Dangerous.
So I'm just showing Norman. I've put him on my list for tomorrow. Star Citizen, mate. I'll get on it.
Yeah, no, I will have a look into that. If it's a paid for mod and it's actually working, then I will buy Star Citizen. I will buy the mod. Yeah. Like I'm that big in.
Hi, Leroy. Shout out in the chat. Hi, Leroy.
Hey, dude. Like, Skizzer PL has asked an interesting question on my chat. What do you think, guys? Will we ever see the Deca gear?
No. It's gone. It's dead.
It's a dead project, mate.
It's a dead project, I put my deposit down. I was sold. I've got my Deca gear dongle, the little Move dongle, Brilliant.
Yep.
But
no, I do not. No, I don't ever see us seeing the actual Deca Gear headset ever. If we do, it will be janky, and they will have released it purely to satisfy some people
Kickstarters,
that have, yeah, basically, and that's a shame. Honestly, I think what would be better is for them not to release it and just apologize.
Yeah,
which I think they might have done.
They have, because I think what they said was that the initial idea was that the people who pre-ordered me would get the Deca Gear headset at the price that we were expecting, which I think was $599 or $499. I can't remember. But anybody else, excuse me, beer. Anybody else that bought it would have to pay the full retail price. Which, considering they were talking about putting eye tracking, face tracking, the Deca Move would be included in it. It would be basically a little tiny company tried to make a Cambria.
Yeah.
Nah, you can't do it without the money, because you have to go to suppliers and you have to say, I'm going to sell 10 million of these and I want that component at that price. And Deca could not have any time gone to anybody and done that, because they just said, right, fuck off, you're not getting it for that price. So
yeah, and it this is the problem. You can't compete with Meta in their own arena, and that's exactly what Deca were trying to do.
Yeah, ByteDance can. ByteDance can.
Oh, of course they can. ByteDance, obviously, like they're huge.
Yeah.
And
bloody
they can
bloody
afford
TikTok
to lose money. Yeah, they can afford to lose money. Same as Facebook, Meta, whatever you want to call them, can afford to lose money.
Yeah.
Like when the Cambria comes out, I fully expect that they will be losing money on each one of the headsets that they release.
So I'm just I need to speak to Paradise Decay tomorrow.
On getting Starset mod to work, it took me a while. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have 2 videos that I need to make tomorrow, and I think I've just decided that both of them can sod off.
You're going to try the Star Citizen.
Like, I don't even own Star Citizen, and I may well go and purchase it tonight.
Now, I played a lot. Excuse me. It's the Gurgulator. See, apparently you're supposed to aerate white wine as well as red wine. Anyway, because I'm get posh me. I played a lot of Elite Dangerous in VR, and the feeling of sitting in, I ground, and I bought this ship, which was a sort of cross fighter, but had quite a good cargo hold. And it had a bubble canopy, right? And your chair actually was out in space, and all your controls were there. And it was just, the first time you flew it, I was just like, this is amazing. Because you could, if you're in a dogfight, you could literally look like all around you.
Which sounds awesome. And
it's amazing.
I'm a huge sci-fi nerd. So anything like that is, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Elite Dangerous is really good. Unfortunately, I ground to get the ship. And then to upgrade it fully to like full spec with like all the best guns, all the best armor, all the best, was another 4 times the price of the ship. And I just went and just stopped playing. I didn't have that time. It took me weeks to doing cargo runs and doing little quests and stuff to save up money for the ship. When I got it, it was like, oh yeah, to get the ship up to where you want it to be, it's like 4 times the amount of money you spent on it. And I just went, nah, not doing that.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, right? In the last 6 months, no, that's not true. More so in between August and October last year, August and October 2021, I genuinely considered packing in the YouTube stuff and the TikTok stuff. Purely because there are so many games like Star Citizen, like Elite Dangerous, as well as like even just single player games like Lone Echo and things like that, that I do not have time to complete. I do not have time to really get in depth with.
Yeah.
And as a content creator, if you're not dedicated to a single game, it is actually kind of sad that you can't do those things.
Yeah. So I'll use the level cap and Jack Fragg's example there again. So Jack Fragg's was mostly a sort of Battlefield guy. Did a little bit of Call of Duty. You know, him and level cap Mateo, they would like I can't remember the name of the English guy, Westy. They would like play together in Battlefield, and it was always really good crack. And since Battlefield has been crap since about Battlefield 5, they've kind of branched out. And Level Cap and Jack Frags are doing like a bit more sort of Star Citizen stuff. And you watch it and you think, oh, that looks so good. That looks so good. But there isn't anything like that in VR. You could not base a channel on one game. So I'm going to use Surjical here as an example because obviously he's my best friend in VR. He's not my best friend on podcast. I've known him longer than you. We basically, when the pandemic started, I met Surjical on practically day one, and we played Population 1 for a year. So his channel is based on Population 1. He makes a Population 1 video, nobody watches it. I did the same when I first started out. I was playing Pistol Whip in mixed reality or with avatars, and I loved it. I made so many Pistol Whip videos, and no fucker watched them. And it's so annoying because you love the game so much, but you're not going to grow your YouTube channel if you just play that one game. And there isn't a Star Citizen or a Battlefield or a Call of Duty for VR yet.
No, yet.
Because we're not big enough. Yet. There will be.
When it happens, I can fully see me opening a second channel that is just dedicated to it. And actually I can, unless PowerOnVR hits like the 50, 60, 70, 100k mark, I can fully see me ending up doing exactly that and moving into a singular game. As long as that game has not necessarily a huge user base.
Yeah.
But like an Elite Dangerous guaranteed amount of people.
Yeah, what you need is that crossover VR game that flat screen gamers play and you can play in VR, because then you'll get the people who are flat screeners going, oh, that looks pretty good in VR, and the VR gamers saying, well, I want to watch the flat screen because, you know, I'll get tips and tricks off them and they'll apply to my VR game. So we haven't got it yet. I don't think we've got it yet. If anybody thinks we've got it,
kind of. I would say that we actually have two games currently, and they are very similar to each other, and they are not the games that we are ever going to dedicate our lives to. And they are VR Chat and Rec Room.
No, not doing either of those.
Both of those are perfectly available in both flat screen and on VR, and Rec Room is even available on mobile and consoles. So yeah, it is available already. I enjoy Rec Room, but I just cannot see me ever dedicating a channel to it. It's obviously worked for lots of people.
Yeah.
Same as Gorilla Tag has worked for lots of people.
Mr. VR Man Curly.
Yep.
Last time I spoke to him, he had 40,000 subs. When I looked the other day, he was on 200,000 or something, 150, 200,000. Sorry, can I just address something in the chat? Norman,
Yeah.
I can't dedicate that much time to playing that game. He's basically asked, he said, do you want me to sponsor you for doing Star Citizen? I can't. That's a very kind offer. I appreciate it, mate. I can't commit that much time to just playing one game while I'm trying to build my channel. If I get to a certain size and I can have somebody who I can make my videos and somebody edits them and uploads them for me, then I probably could do that. But at the moment, I just need to concentrate on building my channel. But it's a very kind offer, and I really appreciate you saying that to me. So thank you very much, mate.
Yeah, no, that's a really cool offer, man. I just want to address some of the people in my chat quickly. Skizzer PL, Slime VR, I haven't tried it, I'm afraid, my guy. Have you tried that, Mac? Slime VR? I don't even know what that is. I assume it's a game.
No, it isn't. No, I sold my Vive trackers, and I've bought Slime VR, but it's not getting released until, for me, it's not going to be here until September. Basically, Slime VR is a full body tracking alternate system where you don't need base stations.
Oh, it's that? Yes. No, I have seen this. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I've ordered it. I've ordered the base. Where are we? I've ordered the base 5 Slime trackers because I need something now to replace my base stations because I sold my Valve Index. So if I want to do mixed reality, like avatars in Pistol Whip or something like that, then I don't have base stations anymore. So yeah, I've bought into Vive. I've bought into Slime, and they're on the way in September.
Okay. Yeah. The other one. So someone in my chat, Mama, says, yeah, there are many YouTubers that never played the game to the end, which kind of invalidates their opinion entirely. And I agree. If they don't specify that that is the case,
yeah,
I think that I agree with you, because it's unfair for them to say this game is amazing if they haven't played to the end, unless they actually state that they have played X amount.
Yeah. Sorry, hello MoBeast, who's just joined the party. It's very easy to play a game for an hour and go, well, this is the best thing ever. Because the whole thing about, one of the most amazing things about Half-Life Alyx is the first hour. Because you're like in this new world and it's like, oh my God, this is incredible. Not saying that Half-Life Alyx is a bad game, because it is not absolutely the best game in VR as far as visuals and polish and everything goes. There was a game which I played which escapes me right now, which you shouldn't be surprised about. And I don't like to criticise him because I love him. BMF VR, he did a review and he said, oh, this game is excellent. And I could tell by his footage he'd only played the first hour. I played it for 3 hours, and the first hour was great. The second hour was average. The third hour was terrible. And I just said, no, this game is not worth your time. And I did this. Yeah, I come in for a lot of criticism, but I come in for a lot of praise as well for being honest. And to be honest, that's all you got to try and be. If you're making content, my thing is to think about value for money. And I think I play the game. I think I'm going to use a great example here. Golden Mechs, $20, £20 on the Quest store. I've played it. Crikey. Must have put 20 hours into it already. Value for money. Great game. You can jump in for 10, 15 minutes. You'll have 3 games. Bang, bang, bang. You'll enjoy the fuck out of it. And then you can put it away for a week. You can go back. You can do another 3 or 4 games. Play for an hour. Do what you want. It's not like a massively skill-based game. It's just fun. Do you know what I mean? It's just fun stomping about in big mechs. Sorry, I realise I've been speaking for 5 minutes.
No. I completely agree with everything you've said. The thing is my level of excitement for a game, and I hope that this comes across in my review videos, but it's possible it doesn't. My excitement for a game completely depends on, not completely depends on, it highly depends on who has produced it. So, to give an example, you've got a game called Iron Rebellion, which is, once again, a big mech type Battlefield game. And I think that was created by 2 guys. And that's pretty awesome. Like, they've just said, I like Gundams, I like mechs, I want to have a Battlefield game in VR where it feels like I'm in the cockpit and I get to absolutely go around and wreck people with rocket launchers. That's awesome, right? The gameplay, when I played it, was good, but it wasn't amazing.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was created by two people and it was moving on and on and on, and they had a full roadmap and they were fully dedicated to it. When I played it, that level of excitement that I had was based on the fact that I could see how much effort these people had put in and how the community saw this game. Because when I jumped into that game, I knew nothing about it. I met this guy in the lobby, and he was just like, do you want me to explain everything to you? Do you want me to show you around? And I spent 3 hours with that guy, and he was awesome. And it's stuff like that that makes me truly love the VR community.
Yeah.
And why I get so excited for it. Whereas I play other games and I'm just like, it could be a game that came out from an amazingly brilliant company, and I'm just like,
Medal of Honor.
They produced an okay game.
Medal of Honor.
Whatever, next.
Medal of Honor.
Yeah, exactly. Medal of Honor was bollocks.
So
frankly,
we're gonna right. So Paradise Decade's made an interesting point in my chat. He's just said, "I'm just about first impressions." Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to use these two examples that I always use. Population 1, first impression, incredible. As soon as you sort of stepped off that platform, flew into the map, I was like, yeah, they've nailed it. They've nailed it. Last Notes, exactly the opposite. I thought it was terrible. I know it's better now. They've patched it, but they lost their player base, and that's it gone. Another one is RFVR, and Surjical got me into playing RFVR, and I was like, I didn't really know what was going on. I was like, oh, this, it was a bit janky. But then when you start to learn how the game is set up, you think, well, there's a lot to do. I could just be a smith. I could just be smithing all day and make these amazing weapons. Or I could go off and do dungeon quests. Or I could build my whole village and then protect it with soldiers and then grow apples. So like my first impression was, this is a bit janky. But after playing for 2 or 3 hours, my impression completely changed, because you realise like the depth that the game has. So yeah, I can understand why you would say first impressions count, but sometimes you need to, just peel away a few layers of the onion, I think, to make a...
Be able to give people an informed opinion.
Yeah,
because
yeah. It's their money.
This is the thing, is if you are advocating for a game, and I think there are too many people that do this. They advocate for a game where they've been sent a free key and they feel like they owe someone something.
Yeah.
And I get that, I do, because I've still got boxes of product that I need to actually look at properly and go through. I've got like Bobo stuff that I'm meant to be doing tomorrow that I'm probably going to fob off now because I want to play Star Citizen.
Life goals.
Yeah, exactly. And I do feel kind of like I owe the company something, but I don't owe them a good review. I owe them a good look at them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say something is good and waste somebody else's money, because that's not fair.
Yeah, absolutely. I got contacted by the company called Tech, and they sent me two things. They sent me the VR, they sent me the V5 headset, and they sent me their version of the Elite strap. And I opened the Elite strap and I looked at it and I thought, it looks a little bit cheap. I opened the V5 headset and it was basically one where you put your phone in. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But anyway, I tested the Elite strap and it was really good. And it was $39 for the same amount of battery you get for an Elite strap at $99. And I was like, and it was comfortable. It had like a cloth strap. They'd gone a bit cheap with the cable. But fuck, it was $39. $39. And I was like, yeah, that's brilliant. So they emailed me and said, have you received products? Are you going to make a video? And I said, I emailed them back and said, I'm not going to review the V5 because it's not, I don't think it's up to scratch. It's not what the people on my channel want to see. But I am going to review your Elite strap. And they were like, oh yeah, fair enough. Thank you very much. Fine. He was happy. He got his Elite strap review. came out very well. I said there was good points to it, there was bad points to it. But for that price, fuck me, you could not argue with the value for money.
Okay, then I think this leads into a good segue into a topic that I would actually quite like to cover, and
Okay.
it's partly because I'm actually writing a video on this at the moment, and I've been writing it for a couple of weeks now. Because let's face it, I haven't been able to do anything else.
No, because
other
you've
than
just been
writing
basically
into
going.
Google Documents. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, breaking it down into a few different categories, and I'm not going to specify the categories. We can make them up as we go.
Okay.
What do you think are currently the best accessories for the Quest 2?
I don't have one of them, and I'm desperate to get my hands on one. So I'm actually gonna have a smoke live on podcast because it's the Bobo M2 head strap with the detachable battery, which you have.
I have.
And
this is my favourite head strap ever. It's amazing.
And my mate Face from Team Tryhard, he has one as well, and he loves it.
Okay. So that I get what I'm going to do just quickly is I'm going to show you guys why this head strap. Like, I am not an ambassador for Bobo. Just so that we're clear, they did send this to me for free, but that's because they wanted me to review something else. And they sent this as an extra package. But I originally reviewed the Bobo head strap, the Halo style head strap, and I didn't care about it.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to quickly have a comfort break.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You knock yourself out, mate, because I'll need one soon as well. I did not care that much about this head strap, okay? No, not this head strap specifically, the original Bobo head strap. Everyone was raving about it, and it's because you can do this, right? It has this bit, so that if you've got it on your head, you can sort of lift it up, and it's nice and comfortable. And I get that. I do. However, the difference between that and the one with... Oh, shit, I've mixed up my batteries. That's not good. I've been keeping these separate. I actually have... I have two of these. These batteries are amazing. Not least of which because they're magnetic and they make that cool sound. I don't know if you guys heard that. Come on, make the sound again. Do it. Do it. I command you. Okay, we'll take you off and put you back on. Right, listen. Right, it's an awesome sound. Anyway, I love the sound. But the point is this battery actually counterbalances the entire head strap and the Quest 2, which means that once I put this on, it almost feels like the Ned Flanders meme, like nothing at all, like nothing at all. It genuinely does feel like you're not having a huge amount of weight. You've got no pressure on your face, and I like. This is the thing. Well, I've tried. I think at this point, I've probably tried 95% of all Quest 2 head straps. I've had them sent to me from here, there, and everywhere. I've bought these ones from here, there, and everywhere. And there have been good ones and there have been bad ones. But the top ones, in my opinion, at this moment in time, are the Bobo VR M2 Pro. And I have a feeling this is not going to last long because they've got a new one coming out in a couple of weeks, I think, called the maybe the M3. I don't know what it's called. Either way, it looks black, and I am all about that black aesthetic. So at the moment, Bobo M2 Pro is up there as my top. Just under that is the Kiwi Design Elite strap. I haven't tried the Kiwi Design Elite strap with battery pack, to be fair. Have you tried that, Mac?
Just give me a second. I will. I'm just answering Norman in the chat. Kiwi are sending me their brand new Elite strap, but they had a manufacturing issue and they had to delay. But I am expecting one because I do have a relationship with Kiwi.
See, the thing is, I know somebody that has it, and he won't admit it, and I'm not going to point out his name. But yeah, I know you have it. I know you do. I know you do, and you won't be able to dissuade me of that, no matter what you text me later on tonight. and what you say about it when we're playing other games. I know you have it. Anyway, I'm pretty sure they're under NDA. But the Kiwi Design Elite Strap is pretty comfortable if you like that more Elite Strap style where it straps to your face. You're definitely getting a less light bleed. It does have a more secure feeling, and if you're playing games like Blade and Sorcery where you're swinging around really, really fast, it is going to provide something that's going to stay on your head that more securely. The original Elite Strap from Oculus, or whatever you want to call them now, is pretty good, but the first wave of them and second wave of them had a lot of problems with their arms snapping after many, many months.
I've still got my first Elite Strap, and it hasn't broken yet. Whether I'm just been lucky, whether I'm just because I'm quite careful with my stuff. At the moment, the Elite Strap is my favourite, but I really want that Bobo M2 or whatever the next thing they bring out. That just looks so comfortable.
The next one looks amazing, mate.
Yeah. If you're watching, Bobo, hit me up in the chat.
This is where is it? Where has it gone? This is what I'm going to be reviewing. What I'm meant to be reviewing tomorrow.
Is this the F2?
So this is the F2.
Yeah, I thought you used it earlier in there.
Is it any good?
No, I didn't. I don't, because you used it for your comparison, didn't you? With the.
No, I didn't actually. I was using a battery.
Oh, the Bobo battery.
I was using a battery. Yeah,
I'm just showing off now. Just throwing them around.
So I have the F2, and I love this because once again it's magnetic, and magnetic stuff I'm actually really big on. If you don't know what this attaches to a facial interface, and then this will sit on the front like this, and then it sucks air up through here and pushes it out here, meaning that if you sweat and whatnot when you're doing workouts and things, it's not going to actually cause fogging and things, and it should help cool you down a little bit.
Or perhaps if you play games in your conservatory, which is made of glass.
Yeah, where it's already baking and you're trying to play things like Supernatural or Les Mills. But as a comparison to that, I also have the KK COB VR version, which I'm going to give a try as well. Both of them, interestingly, have really nice, really, really lovely feeling facial interfaces. So that was meant to be my tomorrow job.
But now it's going to be Star Citizen.
But now it's probably going to be Star Citizen. And then I might just close my YouTube channel and not appear on this podcast again.
There you go, Norman. Sponsor Paradise. Sponsor Paradise. No, don't sponsor Paradise. Sponsor Power On.
But yeah, no, this... So yeah, Bobo, as far as head straps concerned, I think, yeah, Bobo M2 Pro is probably my favorite head strap at the moment. I mean, I have a box, right? So to give you an idea of dimensions, it's about 1.3 meters by 1 meter. And most of the items in that box, it's 1.3 by 1 by about 50 centimeters. Most of that box is entirely full of head straps.
Yeah.
And other random accessories, but mainly head straps. Yeah. That's how many I have. And I would easily say that, yeah, this M2 is by far my favorite so far. Mostly because of these detachable batteries.
Yeah, they sound amazing.
These detachable magnetic batteries are fantastic. Yeah, so in the category of head straps then, that's mine. Mac, you haven't tried it yet, but you would say that yours is currently...
The Elite Strap.
The Elite Strap.
I just like it. I spent the money for it. It is quality. You're paying for what you get. It works. You can charge it. You know, if you're going for a more than 4 hour gaming session, you can charge it with another battery pack. The other accessory I can't live without is my ProTube MagTube cups. Not the actual MagTube itself. The MagTube is really good if you're playing Onward, right? But the ProTube MagTubes, I'm just going to get them here because right. So this is actually my Pico Neo 3, and ProTube very kindly sent me the Mag cups for the Pico Neo 3. So if you look at the size of that, they're obviously a lot bigger and a bit more gawky I don't like this. I don't
Just
like
as a
this.
comparison, here is the Quest 2 version.
Yeah, the Quest 2. So it just makes it more comfortable. It makes it into a sort of index style controller, which is really good. But the other thing I have to mention Kiwi design here, because the reason I switched the Pico to the Mag Cups was because that is the Kiwi design grips, and they are so good. They are
Just
so
go
good.
for a different colour there as well.
Yeah. So you've got this you can open the battery and change the battery without taking the straps off. They're so comfortable. They're so comfortable. And they've got if you can see this here, there's like a sort of silicon halo cover as well.
Yep.
Yeah, which is great. So now that the Pico is my main PC VR headset, and if I'm going to play Onward, then I will be using my Mag tube with the Pico Neo 3. So I switched them over, and it just makes the Pico Neo 3 controller so much better. So yeah, they're the ones that I like. They're the ones I can't live without. And of course, the weird alien egg Quest 2 carry case, which you know I absolutely love.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's fair. It doesn't. I would agree that like my Pro Tube is within the category. My Pro Tube or Mag Tube is definitely high on the list of accessories, because I use it very specifically with certain games, and I will never play those games without it.
Yeah.
Like, I will not play Pavlov without it. I won't play Contractors without it. I won't play Onward without it. I don't care about using that for Population 1. It doesn't do anything at all, in my opinion.
I did. And the reason is because I used the CX4, and that's a mid-distance, high-accuracy gun, and the Pro Tube made a big difference to me when I started using that.
That's fair. I mean, your choice of gun isn't, because the CX4 is trash, and that's something that everybody should know before they play Population 1 is don't use the... Actually, I haven't used it since they changed all of the guns around, so I haven't played the new update.
So the way that our team worked was that Serge is our thug. That's my dog, by the way, in case you can hear him. He's having a fucking... So Serge is our thug, I'm the mid-distance player, and Face was our sniper. So for me, the mid-distance stuff, I would use a UMP for close distance and the CX4 for mid-distance. And it's one of those things, you say it's trash, but if you practice and practice and practice with it, it's really good. You can rip people apart.
If you practice and practice and practice with it, you then eventually move on to the AK like a real player and just use the AK, which produces more damage.
Oh, no, hold on. I've got something in my pocket for you. It's that.
Yeah, no, I love Pop 1 because it was interesting. When I used to play with Henry back in the day, right, I used to use the UMP quite a lot. Yeah. And then I started playing with Crash and Scotticus, and they referred to UMP as the
tickler.
The tickler.
Yeah.
Because it did fuck all damage.
Yeah, but unless you're somebody like Surge who never misses. Surge is a fucking demon with the UMP. But Crash with an MP5 is unbeatable.
I don't even know if he uses the MP5.
Oh, he used the MP5 on me when we streamed the other day. Scotticus uses the P90, doesn't he?
Yes.
He's a machine.
He's disgustingly good with that gun.
He's like, I'm getting hit, I'm dead. Oh, what the? Oh, Scotticus, yeah, okay. Sorry, Mo Beast was asking me about the Force Tube. Mo Beast, that's my Force Tube.
That's the Scout?
It's a full carbon mag tube with the Scout, yeah. They've got another Force Tube which is more powerful, but it's also like €200 more expensive. And I would love to try it because this is pretty powerful. So I'd love to try the next one up because it's like I think it's nearly twice the Newton meters. Is that going to make you more accurate, or are you just going to be having an orgasm every time you pull the trigger? I'm not really sure.
If anyone's ever watched my original review of my Force Tube, there was a point where I felt like I was holding I was using an M249, and
of course, why would you not?
I felt like I was in a Vietnam movie. It was amazing. I was basically orgasming.
Did
while
you
using
shout,
it was...
"Get some! Get some"? How can
I
you
literally
shoot?
shouted that.
How can you shoot?
literally shouted that in the review.
How can you shoot women and children? It's easy. You just don't lead them as much. Get some. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. I think when I did my review of the original Force Tube, which was not the Scout, which actually Face now owns because I gave it to him. There's a bit where I came around the corner and there's like a load of Volk, and I just let rip with the M249 basically from hip, and I was just laughing and laughing. I think I actually said, I think I'm just going to shove this down my underpants and just pull the trigger until it's all over.
Yeah, no, it's pretty awesome, all told.
Oh, it's called the Storm. Mobeast just posted. It's called the Storm.
Okay.
The new really powerful Pro Tube.
So yeah, as far as gun stocks, I honestly haven't used any others, and I don't see me now that I've actually invested that money. I would love to try other gun stocks, and I would love people to show me why I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But I did a lot of research before purchasing it, and it just came up so high on the list.
Yeah.
That I just said, yeah, no, I don't mind putting that initial money in.
If you watch any Onward esports, most of the top teams use Pro Tubes. There's a few of them use different ones, but most of them use Pro Tubes. But saying that, I'm in touch with a literally mad Swedish inventor who's invented something called the Lightning, and it's fucking left field, totally left field. And he's supposed to be sending me one soon to test, and it's intriguing. I'm so interested in what he's doing. I can't give anything away because he hasn't. He does. You know, he hasn't. It's in beta.
It's incredibly proprietary, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And he's still working on it. But Joseph, if you're watching, I can't wait to get my hands on the Lightning, mate. It sounds fucking crazy.
if you'd like to send me one, buddy, I wouldn't say no.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
I'll send you a link to his Discord because I think there's only me and him in his Discord.
Yeah, no, I'd appreciate it, man. Because from what you've told me so far, it sounds pretty awesome. Like I'm big on innovation.
Yeah.
Are there any other categories then that you think are worthy of actually having a category for accessories for this?
You're talking to the man who just did a Quest 5 best accessories video and then forgot. It's not an accessory, it's an app. But if you haven't got virtual desktop on your Quest 2, then you need to get virtual desktop on your Quest 2
if you have a gaming PC. Otherwise,
if you have AirLink or you use a link cable for your Quest 2, you should get virtual desktop. I think it's $14.99 in the UK, $20 in the US. It is basically AirLink.
Good.
AirLink's okay. AirLink's okay for free. Virtual desktop
it's okay, but virtual desktop is good.
Virtual desktop, I paid £14, $14.99 for it about a year and a half ago, and I must have put 1,000 hours of VR through virtual desktop easily, because basically if I'm playing PC VR, I use virtual desktop. Which is why I can't wait for it to get released for Pico Neo.
Mobeast, you said it's a lot to get it for the Quest 2 when Decard will be my main headset. The thing is, man, if you've already got a Quest 2, just get it now. And then the mag cups, they're not expensive. Like 30 euros or something to replace them.
And all...
because the rest of it will still work perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So if that's your main worry and that's the reason why you're holding off, if that's the only reason you're holding off, don't hold off, man. The mag cups are not that expensive. You can swap them out for when the Decard comes out. It won't be a problem.
No.
They are modular. You are correct.
Yeah, they are modular, yeah.
These things, like Mac, if Mac has the exact same Pro Tube as I do, the Mag Tube as I do, but he's now swapped over to using the new the Mag cups. So if you look at them, they're almost identical. But this is a Quest 2, that's a Pico. But they both fit on our carbon Pro Tubes.
Yeah. So Mobeast, if you're worried, I've had a mag tube. Well, actually, when it first released, it was just called a Pro Tube. I've had. You're not going to believe this, but that Pro Tube I showed you, I've had since 2016, and it's like Trigger's broom. The only thing that's left from it is a couple of the connectors because I've just basically replaced it as I've gone on. So I've had that since I had my Rift, and it's been through a Rift S, it's been through a Quest, it's been through a Valve Index and a Quest 2, and now it's been onto my Pico Neo 3, and the only thing I have to change is the mag cups, and they cost about 20 euros.
Yeah, your wallet should be mad at us, and we are unapologetic for that.
We are, exactly. Sorry, guys.
Virtual desktop. As
Bobo.
far as I'm concerned, the Bobo. As far as Mac's concerned, at the moment, the Elite Strap.
Because I haven't got a Bobo.
and the mag tube are all great. Even if you don't buy the Force tube, the mag tube itself is great and makes a huge difference to gameplay.
Yeah, and change your facial interface to a VR cover or the Kiwi Design Fitness facial interface.
Yeah, so I'm currently using the VR cover Thrill Seeker edition just because it's in pink, and that's my jam. I'm not on the whole, it's comfy. I think from a design perspective, the Kiwi design is slightly better.
Yeah, because of the vents.
It's because of the vents, but also because they actually have padding that goes all the way around the nose.
They do, yes. And when you buy the Kiwi Fitness facial interface, you get a glasses spacer. Now, the glasses spacer you get with your Oculus Quest 2 is not compatible with the VR cover. They just give you a thicker facial interface to sort of make that distance, and it doesn't work.
Which isn't good enough.
No. Oh, prescription lenses. Fuck.
Prescription lenses obviously are in their own category because they only apply to a minority.
15
not a minority.
59% of people in the UK wear glasses. So if you're into VR,
Really?
absolutely.
Is it that high?
Yeah. I researched it when I did my VR Rock. So basically, I'm not sponsored by VR Rock, but I do have an affiliate link. And they sent me some prescription lenses with my distance prescription. Because you basically, if you can stand 2 meters away from an object and it's in focus, you don't need prescription lenses for your Quest. If you have a distance prescription, then you will see a difference, because obviously, as we've talked about before, the way that VR works, they have a fixed focal length. And if you have a distance prescription, then that distance prescription will make a difference. And in my video where I actually put the VR Rock lenses in, and then I just go to the Quest Home, and I literally put the headset on my head, kept my eyes shut, opened my eyes and went, fuck me. Everything was in like high definition. It was crazy. So
yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So if you need reading, if you have a reading prescription, then no. But if you have a distance prescription, then yes. VR, prescription lenses. Affiliate link in the description below.
So they're the ones that I think they're the big ones, really.
They are. But so the thing about the Quest 2 is it's not a $299 headset. It's a $450 headset once you get the Elite strap, the VR cover, and virtual desktop, and perhaps some sort of, like the Kiwi Design grip covers, or a Pro Tube mag tube with the Pro straps. So yeah, which we have talked about quite a lot actually in the podcast, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Mobeast is saying my wallet is now mad at you.
Yeah, no, as I said, we are unapologetic about that problem. I feel like that's not necessarily a terrible problem to have. when we've just solved one of your problems anyway, even if it wasn't, even if it's going to directly affect your monetary problems.
So
now.
you did originally ask me right at the beginning of the podcast about the Pico Neo 3 link. I'm not going to answer you because I'm actually making a video about it right now.
Yep, fair enough.
And the reason is because both headsets have pros and cons. But if there is a certain reason you would want the Quest, and there's a certain reason you would want a Pico Neo 3, which I will just explain in the video, which is coming out next week.
Well, I am looking forward to that video.
I don't want to shoot me bolt and tell you what I think now, because I want you to go and frigging watch it so you can make me some money. I like money. Thank you, Norman, by the way. I love you so much, mate. He's donated over $20 in the past 2 weeks. He's an absolute star. Sitting on his balcony in Bermuda with his shorts on.
Have you got anything to go over while I take a 5-minute break? Because I am desperately in need of.
I don't know.
Facilities.
Ask me a question. I'm having a quick look through my notes. Right. Okay. Hold on. Oh yes, I do. Did we? No, we didn't speak about it. So you go.
We didn't speak about what?
We briefly spoke about it, but we didn't cover it.
Okay.
It's the Meta have just released the store for
okay. Well,
Facebook Messenger and Instagram.
I will come back and we can talk about it some more, right?
I can guarantee I'll still be talking about it by the time you get home.
Cool. BRB.
I'm just going to quickly open my door. Hold on a second. Right, yeah, it's starting to get a bit warm in the Mac Cave. So there was a story came out a couple of days ago where a lady called Eva Chen, who I think is the Instagram sort of head, and Mark Zuckerberg did a live sort of presentation where they said that they'd done a collaboration with 3 big fashion houses. I'm going to have to look up the name of one of them because I don't actually know. Oh, I feel like Boris Johnson. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. I'm not going to talk about Peppa Pig, though. Fucking blonde wanker. Right, so we've got... Oh, no, we're miles behind. Okay. So these 3 big fashion houses were Prada, which I've heard of. Balenciaga, which I haven't heard of. And a guy called Tom Brown. So basically they were launching a fashion for your avatar, which you can use in Facebook, Instagram and Messenger. And it will be coming to your Quest 2 avatar. So they want you to buy items of clothing for your avatar with real money on Facebook and Messenger and Instagram. And eventually that will then transfer over to your Quest 2. Which I have a big problem about. Because as you know, I got banned from my Facebook account. And I spent £400 on my Quest 2. Plus the hundreds of pounds I spent on my apps and games. And because of a chat bot spotting something that I said, which was sell a kidney, I got banned from Facebook for over 4 weeks. And with Facebook having such bad customer service, you never know if you're actually going to get your account back. So if I hadn't got my account back, I would have lost access to my Quest 2, which I paid £400 for, all my games, which I think at the time I worked out was about £300 to £400. So if you then go and invest your money in a Balenciaga motorbike onesie which they have actually advertised in this Instagram sort of feed talk that they did, and you bought a Prada handbag for your avatar, if that's what you're into, or you bought whatever Tom Brown sells. I don't know who he is. I'm not a fashionista. At this moment in time, if you did that and you spent that money and then you got banned by Facebook, that's gone. Right? If you don't get your account back, that's gone. That's real money that you've earned that Facebook have just stolen from you with no recourse. There is some recourse, but from the videos I've made where I did get banned from Facebook, there's a lot of people don't get their Facebook accounts back, and they're like stuck. Not just like for me, like 4 weeks. They're like stuck for months, 6 months, a year. There was a lady in the UK who ran a cake business on Facebook. That was her business. And they want you to do that. They want you to have a business on Facebook. And she ran a cake decoration business. Had 65,000 followers. All of her business was through Facebook. She got hacked by whatever. She maybe didn't have 2FA enabled. And she lost her business. Like she lost her livelihood. And she lost it for nearly 6 months. So imagine how you would feel if your job was working on Facebook and then Facebook said, oh no, by the way, you've been banned. And you bought a Quest 2, and you bought the Prada handbag, and you bought the Balenciaga, what the fuck it's called, fucking motocross suit that Mark Zuckerberg was fucking having a wank over. Fucking gone. So what Facebook need to do is stop concentrating on trying to get you to buy a fucking Prada handbag in the metaverse. Stop you from trying to buy a Balenciaga motocross suit in the metaverse. Stop you whatever the fuck Tom Brown makes in the metaverse, and sort this fucking Facebook login thing out. Because until they do that, people who are buying this stuff and spending real money are going to get screwed over. And like, as much as I love Meta for what they've done with the Quest, and Mark Zuckerberg with his little milky seal hands, shouldn't be the face of Meta at all. It should be fucking Andrew Bosworth. You have to unlink people's accounts from their Facebook if you want people to buy stuff in the metaverse. Imagine if you were in the metaverse and it's all working beautifully, and you're in this space station and you buy this beautiful apartment in the metaverse, and it costs you 1 million meta cents, whatever the crap they're going to call it, and then you get banned on your Facebook account and you've lost it. You've lost access to the metaverse. You've lost access to... Yeah. So you can see where this has gone, can't you?
Yeah, it's pretty despicable. Did you actually watch the live stream of it?
I did, yeah. I watched it on Instagram, yeah.
It was uncomfortable
fucking
to watch her.
Painful.
It was uncomfortable to watch. I think her name's Eve Chen.
Eve Chen, yeah. Eva Chen, yeah.
Sit there and be like, "Oh, Mark, wouldn't you look wonderful in this
Balenciaga motocross suit?"
Yeah, see, the motocross suit, that wasn't the most uncomfortable moment. It was when they brought out the schoolboy-looking summer outfit from whoever, like Mark Brown or whatever.
Tom Brown, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Tom Brown. And she was like, "Oh, yeah, wouldn't this look wonderful?" And obviously, Zuckerberg either hadn't seen these or wasn't expecting that question. And he was just like, "Yeah, that's a thing."
Well, one of the other things that annoyed me was there was, I think, was it a T-shirt or a sweatshirt by Balenciaga? And she was like, "Oh, these are really hard to get hold of. And here's one here. But in the metaverse, you can have one. It doesn't matter because there's like an unlimited supply." And I was like, isn't that the whole idea of having something, paying a lot of money for something so that not every cunt and his mother has it? Yeah.
Yeah. And what they're doing now is they're creating an infinite supply for however much that demand will be, but they're just putting a price tag on it and saying it's worth this much because we've said it's worth this much. It's not like those products in the real world are worth X amount, partly because of what they say it's worth, but also because of how much of that is actually being produced.
Yeah.
And the quality of items or the quality of materials they're using in order to produce them, whether they're good or bad, you know, the fact that that name is on it obviously inflates that price considerably.
Yeah.
But in the metaverse, that's not a thing.
No.
Like, they're just dictating how much you're going to spend on it. They're just saying, you know, it's got the Prada name on it. We're NFTing it or whatever.
Yeah. But from Prada and Tom Brown and Balenciaga's point of view, so Mark Zuckerberg comes to you and said, right, you made this, let's use the T-shirt as an example, the sweatshirt as an example. It's a red sweatshirt, it's got Balenciaga on it. Doesn't fucking interest me. Why do I want to walk around with somebody else's name on my T-shirt? Walk around with my name on your T-shirt. It only costs you $20. So, right, imagine if you went to Balenciaga and said, right, how much is that? Okay, that costs £250. Okay, it's a limited supply, which means actually it's not cost £250. It costs however much the scalpers want to make you pay for it. Okay, so all you have to do is make one digital copy of that, and we'll sell fucking thousands of them. And Balenciaga are going to go, come here, Mark.
This is the thing, right? In Ready Player One, I know we always come back to Ready Player One.
The film or the book?
Either. It doesn't matter for this particular point.
It doesn't, no.
In Ready Player One, an item's worth, like, they don't go over how much an item's worth based on how it looks, really. It's mainly about what it can do.
Yeah.
And it might be that, you know, that Balenciaga hoodie has a +2, like it's +2 magical resistance, or maybe it increases your damage with pistols or something like that. Like, there's a reason why it is rare.
Yeah. And
like,
that's why people quest for it.
Exactly. If you play World of Warcraft, an item that looks good may have a certain worth put to it, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't have the armor stats or the ability to increase your intelligence or damage output or something, then no one's going to really give a shit about it. The reason why they're rare is because they increase you in some way.
Yeah.
And the only thing this Avatar store is doing is saying, I have a lot of money, or my daddy has a lot of money, and that's pretty much it. That's all it is.
Yeah, pay to win. But fashion-wise.
Yeah. I'm not sure anybody except Zuckerberg and Valencia, or whatever their fucking name is, actually wins out of this.
No. Well, my news video, which came out today, go and watch it once this podcast is over. I actually say in my video, it's grubby. They're not concentrating on the things they need to concentrate on, which is unlinking people's Facebook accounts so they don't lose physical money. They want to sell you stuff in the metaverse, which doesn't even frigging exist yet. I mean, why buy the Balenciaga motocross suit for your Quest 2 avatar when the fucker's got no legs? And you just look like Mark Zuckerberg floating around with your little fucking seal arms. Beep, 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 beep. Do you know what I mean? I can't see the point.
Here's the other problem, right? Is let's take the motocross suit as an example. Is that suit still going to be a good piece of clothing from the fashion industry's perspective in 5 years? How about 10 years?
No, of course it's not.
How about 20 years?
Of course it isn't.
Right? It's not. Unless it becomes a vintage, respected piece. And I mean, I'm sitting here wearing a Terminator 2 t-shirt, okay? Like, I'm not a fashionista by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
when I came to visit Mac, I was wearing a t-shirt of some description. It was probably a Half-Life 2 t-shirt, and I had a battle jacket on. It's covered in patches of metal bands and things.
Which I appreciated.
That's what I wear.
Yeah, I appreciated that because, like, for me as a geek, you're like, I saw the Half-Life Alex t-shirt was kind of buried underneath all the layers. But I appreciated that because I was like, yeah, he's one of my people. If you turned up in a Balenciaga t-shirt, I wouldn't have actually known what it was. I wouldn't have known what it was. A pair of Tom Brown underpants? Oh, who the fuck's Tom Brown? With an H.
I think if
with an
I
H,
was
by the way.
wearing those, I think if I was wearing those things, you would have known what it is because I would have had to have spoken about them. Because I imagine that the people who would buy that are the sort of people that need you to know that they're wearing that.
Yeah, it's like, how do you know if there's a vegan at the party that you're at? Because they'll come and tell you.
Yeah.
There's no reason to tell me you're a vegan. I don't have a problem with you being a vegan. I don't want to know that you're a vegan particularly. I either like you or I don't. That is my philosophy in life. If I've never met you before, which I hadn't with you, I'd never met you before. And then when you turned up, I was like, yeah, actually, this reinforces my view that I actually really do like this person. I don't care if you're a vegan. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're a trans. I don't care anything about you. I either meet you and I like you, or we just don't like each other, which can happen. It can happen. Some people.
Can you imagine meeting Mark Zuckerberg? Like, genuinely, can you imagine how that conversation is going to go?
From what Andrew Bosworth has said to me, he's not like his online persona. He's a very personable guy, a very likable person. He's very, very clever. He's very intelligent, and he thinks.
Don't disagree.
I'd be worried. I'd be worried to speak to him about my concerns because I think he would have the answers that I don't want to hear. I think he would say, this is not about this. It's about money. It's about shareholders. It's about image. It's about, why haven't you unlinked people's Facebook accounts? Which would be the first thing I would ask him. It's a technical issue. Can you explain it to me? And he would, and I wouldn't understand it. It's like when people talk to me about NFTs. I've had clever people tell me about NFTs, and what are they? Non-fungible tokens? I don't know what the fuck they are. Why would you buy an NFT? How does it go up in value? I don't know. But then this is somebody who's invested heavily in cryptocurrency, so I'm probably just an idiot.
See, the thing is, I actually own an NFT.
Oh, do you?
Own an NFT. I do.
Can you explain it to me?
No, not for shit. Here's the thing. NFTs.
Sorry,
artificially.
Sorry, Clueless Dad just said stick some bacon in his face. That's cruel. Clueless.
That's mean.
That's mean. That is mean. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. Like, I understand NFTs to an extent. Like, they are creating an artificial supply problem to a product that some people will want. But the reason why people want it is because of the supply issue.
Yeah, same as Bitcoin, basically.
To an extent, yeah. I mean, less so at the moment because the entire crypto world is crashing and burning.
It's rebounding. It's hit bottom level. Trust me, it's hit bottom level. Good time to buy.
Yeah,
when there's blood on the streets, it's a good time to invest.
Regardless of what Mac is saying, right? I am a heavy investor in cryptocurrency, and I have a very large and diverse portfolio throughout the crypto world, because I truly believe that it's going to do something.
Yeah.
However, I will never say it's rebounding, and at the moment it is a complete garbage fire. But if you believe in it, now is the time to buy.
Well, I follow policy. It's called dollar cost average. So I buy Bitcoin and Ethereum all the time. So whenever I've got some spare cash, I buy some. It's gone up, it's gone down. When I originally bought my Bitcoin was at $3,000. It's now what, 15, 16? But it was at 60. People say, oh, that's a bad investment. I'm like, dude, I fucking 5 times my money already. I mean, recently I haven't. But it's a long. People think that Bitcoin is a get rich quick scheme, and it's not. It isn't. It's an investment. I've got a lot of Bitcoin squirreled away somewhere, which I don't have to touch until 2025, and I'm confident by then it'll be 10 times the value that I bought it for. It's already 5 times the value I bought it for.
Or you can do the fun thing and invest in Doge.
Oh, fucking no. Fucking way. Do you know one of the things I loved the most about this? I read an article in The Guardian. It was saying that there's now some like class action lawsuits in the US for people like P. Diddy and Kim Kardashian who promoted certain cryptocurrencies.
Meme coins, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, a year's time, they'll have all gone away. 2 years' time, they'll have all gone away. Things change. People look at cryptocurrency as a short-term investment. It's not.
No. This is. I mean, there are certain coins that you can short-term on, like SHIB.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
SHIB did me 100 times, and that was great.
Yeah.
I was a very early investor in that one.
I bought
at the right time.
There was a British bank called Yrex who deal purely in cryptocurrencies, and they have a coin called WRX, and I bought 100 quid's worth, and it's done 100%. No, sorry, 10 times. Yeah, not much, but it's gone up 10 times. And it's crashed, and it's still 10 times above what I bought it for.
This is the thing, though. We don't need in the metaverse. We're going to need a centralized and not decentralized finance.
This is really weird. Mike GC has literally just commented on my channel. When the global centralized programmable digital currency comes in, I would expect decentralized currency to disappear.
I think that will be the exact opposite.
I think you need decentralized.
I think in the metaverse there will need to be a centralized unified currency.
Oh yeah, sorry, like a meta coin or something like that. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
There will have to be something like that, but
because you can't buy a house for 100 meta coins, and then 2 days later it'd be worth 1,000 meta coins, and then 2 days later it'd be worth 50 meta coins. There has to be a stable central currency.
Yes.
Otherwise, you won't be able to buy anything.
But here's the thing: there will be people that utilize decentralized currencies because they do not want to be a part of the centralized system, like the global centralized programmable digital currency. Although you say that, but it doesn't look like we're getting a global centralized programmable digital currency. We're getting individualized, nationalized programmable digital currencies. Yeah. Which is basically removing pound coins, removing dollars, and replacing them with the exact same thing, but the government gets to decide what it is that it actually does,
which always a bad thing.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah,
it is a disgustingly bad thing.
So
anyway, we have. Do we want to carry on down this rabbit hole?
No, we have gone away. We have gone away from the original sort of idea, but the thing is, right, for the metaverse, right? I'm not talking about everybody's metaverse. I'm talking about the metaverse when this thing that Meta has the idea for, and I do agree with it, is that Meta will be building a metaverse and other companies can build their metaverses and they will all work together. And in that metaverse, you do need a centralized currency. If you have other... I forgot my point now. You can't have decentralized currencies across different metaverses. You have to have one central currency, like the meta coin. I'm going to call it the meta coin. I'm going to be famous in like 20 years time when they say, "Oh, who was the founder of the meta coin?" Oh, it was Mac In VR because he mentioned it on a shit podcast that nobody watched. Who was the other guy? Oh, it was PowerOnVR. Oh, isn't he the most powerful person in the metaverse now? Yes, he is. He is, in fact, turned into... What's his chops? Anorak. He is Anorak. And his wife's Mrs. Anorak. Because she's just as bad as he is.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? As long as I didn't have all of his different mental issues.
Yeah, and you don't turn into some sort of megalomaniac AI... But that's something else that we'll talk about at a different point. Are you not ready? Yeah. Sorry.
Is there anything else that we want to go over tonight, Mac?
I don't have anything else in my book. It has been quiet in VR recently. But I think if the Decard leaks, the Cambria leaks, obviously whatever Pico's working on, that's really interesting as well. So I'll ask one question to the chat and your chat. Decard, Cambria, or whatever Pico Cambria is going to be. Because I think they're going to be the three big players in the next phase. PSVR 2, that's a different kind of thing because that's a very closed ecosystem.
Well,
Yeah.
we think it's going to be.
We think it's going to be, yeah. If they let you,
safe bet.
Yeah. If they let you play PC VR, then. So Mike GC's gone for Decard. Mark Alexander says, "What has the best wireless solution?" I think they're all going to be very, very, very equal. You can't drop that ball.
I am of the opinion. I'm putting my bets on Cambria. And the main reason for this is that Cambria has something that Valve doesn't. Yeah. And that is Guy Nugent.
Oh, I don't know who he is. I thought you were going to say. No, I thought you were going to say Carmack.
No, the guy who does Virtual Desktop.
Guy Godin.
Guy Godin, sorry, yes.
You made him Vietnamese there suddenly.
Yeah, I don't know why. So yeah, no, that Cambria has that because they have him essentially because he will be producing Virtual Desktop for Cambria. I guarantee you.
He's already tweeted. He said he's actually tweeted to Meta and John Carmack and Mark Zuckerberg, why haven't I got a Cambria dev kit now?
Yes.
Because his app is the biggest selling app on Quest, without a doubt.
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody goes on about Beat Saber making 10 million things. I bet there's 15 million copies of Virtual Desktop out there.
But here's the thing. With that knowledge or that certainty that I have, it means that I get access to two separate ecosystems.
Yeah.
Rather than just one. And Decard is going to have access to one, and the Pico is going to have access to two, but one of them is going to be a lot smaller than Cambria's ecosystem.
Yeah.
So for me, my bet at the moment is on Cambria because of those two ecosystems being able to be run side by side. That's not to say that I don't want a Decard. I obviously want a Decard.
Everybody wants a Decard. Okay, so my opinion on this is I think you're right. I think Cambria will win the next console race. You know, we always say like PS5 versus Xbox versus Nintendo, and Nintendo always fucking knock it out the park. But then people never ever mention Nintendo. You know, PS5 is winning at the moment. PSVR 2 is going to be amazing. Cambria has that. It has that ecosystem. It has the UI. It has the money of Facebook behind it. Pico at the moment can't compete with that because they haven't built their infrastructure. Decard, Valve are always a wild card because I think the Decard is going to be upgradable. I think they're going to make it like a PC. I think they're going to take the same idea that they've got with the Steam Deck, whereas you buy the Steam Deck and you can upgrade it as you go along, and you can just do it without them, or you can do it with them. So Decard's going to be around for a long time because those screens that they're talking about putting in Decard are 5 to 6 years, maybe even more life in them. And if you can upgrade your Decard gradually, like you would a PC, amazing. Cambria, very closed off system. You know, Meta want to keep control. But I do agree with you. I think Meta's going to win the next round.
Yeah, the thing is I'm not looking at 5 years' time at this point. I'm looking in 2 years' time.
Okay.
That's my timeline that I'm working on. And I don't think VR is quite at the point yet where we can start really talking about 5 years.
Okay. Foveated rendering and eye tracking is going to change everything.
Yes.
I mean, the Pico Neo Link 3 is the last headset of any relevance that's going to release that doesn't have eye tracking.
I hope so.
Yeah. They have to.
Actually, does the Lynx have eye tracking?
It does.
Oh, okay.
I don't think
For some reason I didn't think it did.
Yeah, it does. I don't think. Somebody's. Weebles just said the boys termite, and I've got a lot of lols in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems incredible.
Anyway, yeah, I think that is probably the end of the night.
Well, we've been going for 2.5 hours, which is our usual sort of bumpkin, sort of mumbling and bitching and basically trying to cover as much as we possibly can. It's been lovely to have you back, mate. It's been lovely to have you back. I'm so pleased you're better. I'm pleased you enjoyed download, but I'm really pleased you're back. Unfortunately, I'm away for a week. I will be taking my Quest 2 with me. I will be playing World of Mechs a lot. I've got a video about World of Mechs coming out probably on Thursday or maybe Friday. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's as much as I want to talk about today.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, no, that's actually been a lot. This is I was worried after a month away, coming back to this and being like, you know, how is this going to go? But tonight's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
We've talked about
a lot of stuff.
We have talked about a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No particular gaps. That's always good. Right, guys. It has been great. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you to Weeble. Thank you to Clueless. Thank you to Mobeast. Thank you to Paradise. Obviously, Paradise is always here. Thank you to Clueless, Dad Gamer. Thank you to Mark Alexander in my chat. Who would you like to say goodbye to in your chat?
I would like to say goodbye to Mama. Thank you, my guy, for joining us. Fun with the clicks. Hey, good. Scissor PL. And, of course, Mr. Fusilo.
Fusilo! He is a pain in the arse to play against in World of Mechs with that bloody scout. I hate him and I love him equally because he's obviously barking mad and I love barking mad people. See you later, Fusilo. It's been lovely.
See you later, guys. Have fun and we will catch you in 2 weeks for the next one.
We will. Thank you for tuning in. Cheers, mate. It's been lovely to have you back.
Cheers, buddy. Appreciate it as always.
Okay, we're ending the stream then. Good night.